Hello and welcome to Soap Secrets. Now, we're going to be starting off with Coronation Street, and Claire Ruck is here to talk all things Corrie. Now, we talked last week, Claire, didn't we, about Corrie? He seemed kind of untouched by the murder trial. Is this going to escalate and become a bigger storyline?
Yes, it is. Hannah, hi Hannah. So yes, we all know, we the viewers and also Abby and a lot of the street seem to think that know that he's guilty. He was the one that killed Seb, but of course he got off. He was found innocent. So his life has just restarted again, and he's been promoted to county's first team, as we found out last week. This is upsetting everybody because to be on county's first team, that means he's high profile, he's in the media, he's playing football games. People are seeing him. He seems not to have touched him, any of this. So Kevin and Nina are out for revenge this week. Of course, Kevin's in a very bad way because Abby's gone off somewhere. He can't find her, and she's not coming home. And Nina's just horrified to see what Corrie's up to. And she starts distributing leaflets about Corrie and names and shames him on social media. So she's the one saying, he's the murderer. Why is he getting away scot-free?
And herself in even more trouble.
Yes. But Corrie's obviously got some good advice somewhere. He's playing the innocent victim. He doesn't really rise to any of this. And she declares that she wants to kill him. So when she later sees Corrie in Seb's memorial garden laughing and she's driving past, what will she do? Will she drive the car into him, or will she pull back and just drive past the memorial garden? It's a very emotional week, and Kev's fears for Abby grow because she's had a lot of issues in her life. She has been a drug addict. And £2,000 is withdrawn from their shared account. Is she back on drugs? I mean, this would be the thing that might tip you. If you've been clean for a long time, your son's murdered. So,
No, so he, presumably, he has to try and... Well, he's on the hunt for her.
Yes. So he goes to her old haunt of the Dog and Gun, and he runs into her ex, Tez, who's Seb's dad, who denies seeing her. And this forces Kev to play dirty. Now, Kev's Mr. Boring, really, I suppose, if we're being a bit honest about it. He runs a garage. He doesn't do any of this kind of stuff, but he films Tez doing a drugs deal. I mean, this is putting him in, this is putting him out of his comfort zone, and he blackmails him with it. So can Kev find Abby? Will she come home to him? He really wants her to come home. This is such a, Kev's really in love with her. It's, this is blown his near marriage, his engagement and his love and his partnership with her apart. All of this murder, it's just blown it apart.
Yeah, it's a really tricky storyline, this, because you kind of want, we need to get back to the equilibrium being restored, and when with the Corrie storyline, and then of course the whole trying to search for Abby, it's it's going to get everyone into trouble, isn't it? Yes. Particularly if Kev is kind of searching down the wrong path, which of course he may well be.
Yes. Anyway, don't forget, I talked about Super Soap Week. That's in 2 weeks' time.
Is it super exciting in Emmerdale? Is Meena, I should say, finally going to get her comeuppance?
Well, we've got Super Soap Week, so we're not quite there yet. But she's on the warpath again. She's always on the warpath, Meena, let's be honest, isn't she?
She is.
And she takes action this week to make David her prisoner. Now, think misery without the breaking of the ankles, Hannah.
Do you know what? It's just unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, yes. I can't. It really is. She is just such an angry person. Can you imagine being in her head for a day?
Yes. It's very, very interesting. So she comes back from Ibiza, and she's shocked to discover that David was shot in the siege saving Victoria. So she didn't hear any of this. And we all know a couple of weeks ago there was that big thing with Victoria and Wendy and Wendy's ex-husband wanting the money, and I said their gun went off, and David dove in front of Victoria and got shot. So he's been doing too much. A wound, gunshot wound. They don't heal overnight, despite what you see in the movies, Hannah. And when she gets back to their house, she discovers a suitcase and a chef's hat, and she thinks that Victoria has moved in on her man, but actually it belongs to. The items belong to David's ex, Priya, who was trying to help him, because Priya and David have a good relationship. But anyway, Meena doesn't really care that it's Priya. She bans Vic from the house, and then she tampers with David's medication. So she has him just where she wants him, as her prisoner. What's she going to do? She's
just... I mean, she is the village serial killer, so really, he needs to watch out.
I know. He doesn't know that, though. Nobody knows she's a serial killer.
Only us. Only us. Oh, my goodness. And one sort of, well, there she is. We don't know when she's going to strike again. And then, of course, in moving to Hollyoaks, very, very sad, very, very shocking. Brody dead, and it's the funeral this week, isn't it?
Yes.
I can't believe. Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm in shock.
I'm in shock because he was such a great character. I loved him. He was. I loved all the his dodgy love life, but I also liked the way he had a really good bromance with Damon. I think when you see guys, having a kind of a bromance, I think it's kind of nice. It's you don't often see that. You see a lot of women have really good relationships, but it was nice to see Brody and Damon have that really close male friendship. So Summer's behind bars, but she's still causing problems for Sienna. And this week she sends cupcakes and asks Sienna to come to the prison to see her, Hannah. So it's all a bit. And Sienna's week gets worse when she and Brody's best mate Damon, who is also in crisis because they were really good friends, they continue to argue and fall out. And on the day of the funeral, Damon verbally attacks her and Sienna locks herself in the venue. So it's Hollyoaks. We don't just have a normal funeral.
There's never a normal funeral, never a normal wedding. That's just how it works. Yeah. But, it's really awful. You're full of grief anyway, and then you get verbally attacked again. But she locks herself in the venue, doesn't she?
Yes.
And but there's a twist here, because after locking herself in, she seeks out Warren.
Yes, I know. Well, this is what started it all off. If she hadn't have been with Warren in January, none of this would have happened.
Of course it wouldn't have done. Exactly. Warren is at the root of all things evil.
I know. I don't know.
But there is I don't know why. Stay away from Warren. But there's also quite a sweet sort of line going on this week, isn't there? Because Nana McQueen admits that she's lonely.
Yes.
So dating isn't just for the young after all. Who knew?
It isn't. I know we always sing that, especially in Hollyoaks, because they're all gorgeous. But, Nana McQueen is also a gorgeous lady. And maybe she would like to go out and have someone look deep into her eyes and buy her a gin and tonic.
Of course she would.
Yes. So Teresa sets her up to go on a date with Jack. But Jack, being a man and hadn't really thought this through, thinks the date is with Teresa. Men are such strange creatures, aren't they, Hannah? They are such strange creatures.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking. Didn't he think she's a bit out of my league? No, none of that.
No.
None of that. So
Love
when
it.
Nana turns up, how will the date go?
I can't wait to see, actually. There's a bit of light-hearted fun amongst all the doom and gloom, isn't it, really? Nana McQueen's dating life. Love it.
She's probably going to strop off, isn't she? Because he's going to go, "Where's Teresa?" And she's going to go, "It's me." And then she's going to go,
"It's me."
And strop.
That's absolutely brilliant. I love it. Absolutely brilliant. Now, EastEnders. But before we start, you're going to give us a quick update on Rocky, aren't you?
Yes. So this was hidden from everybody, including all the journalists, and we only found this out a couple of days ago. Rocky, played by Brian Connolly, we all thought that he was when he was introduced that he was Sonia's dad. But we discovered this week, the viewers discovered, that Rocky isn't Sonia's dad, but he's Dottie's uncle, Thomas Cotton.
Yeah.
That's shocking,
Where's this
isn't
go?
it?
Where's this going?
Well, Dottie and Rocky have teamed up to get Dot's inheritance, which she has given control of to Sonia. Now, Dot's not dead. She hasn't been in it for a long time, but I think she's in Ireland. I mean, you know, Jean Brown, who plays Dot, obviously is now in her 90s. So I think she's taken a break from it. But we still have. She has all this money, and she wanted to give control of it to Sonia. Who saw that one coming? I didn't. When we talked about this, Hannah, didn't we? We thought he was going to rip somebody off. We thought, you know, he was going to do something with housing, but we knew he was slightly dodgy, but we didn't know he was lying.
No.
So I did think he was Sonia's dad. He's been quite fatherly to her. I mean, he's been playing it very well. So this week, it all blows up again, this storyline, because Dottie's mum, Sandy, turns up in the square. Now, Sandy, of course, would know that Rocky is Thomas.
Yep. It's going to blow up, isn't it? Big time.
Yes. So can Rocky and Dottie... It's quite hard to say that. Can Rocky and Dottie stop their secret coming out, or is their plan to get Dot's money over before it has begun?
I hope so, because it's just horrible.
It is. It is difficult. So Dottie is Dot's granddaughter, but she hasn't always been there for her grandmother. Sonia has been there completely, 100% for Dot. It's Dot's money. It's a lot of money, so you know.
I know it's probably a storyline that probably touched a lot of people, because I do think there is awfully a lot of people that do try and, you know, ensure that they get their inheritance, or they get it early, and they'll go to any length to do it. So this will probably resonate with some people, I'd imagine, sadly.
Yes.
Wow. Well, another great week. Super soaps. We will be back next week with much more gossip, and hopefully some happier times in many of these. No, I'm only joking. Of course there won't be. But until then, stay safe, and we'll speak to you then.